but no buy you a stick of your old deodorant. So if you're looking for a real challenge, go climb a mountain. If you're looking for the best deodorant, try High Endurance from Old Spice. Because now you got proof. Guaranteed.
They say when a cowboy gets thrown, he has to get right back up. Last year, I took my share of hits. I may have been down. But if you think I'm staying down, get real.
Logo Athletic, authentic team apparel.
This NFL Sports Center is brought to you by McDonald's. Have you had your break today?
I know it sounds like a threat, but we'll be back at 2 Eastern. A subtle reminder from the promotions department. Primetime is up next. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, and Bill Pito. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dan Patrick.
I'm Keith Olbermann. For Dan and the staff, we'd like to thank our director, Lenny Daniels, who's moving on to other places. He's been a great friend. Good luck, man.
Good night.
Week 11 on NFL PrimeTime. How will Dion affect the battle between the Cowboys and Niners? Will Jerry Rice and the battered champs dig back to the spirit of '94? The Bears try to separate from the pack, but the tundra hasn't frozen just yet at Lambeau. Dan Marino broke another record, but the Pats want to spoil the party. The Bills get Marv Levy back. Would Thurman be sidelined again? Did the Rams barrel over the Panthers, who are looking for 5 in a row? Would the Chargers go to the air to try to stop the 8-1 Chiefs? Can Barry and the Lions make another late run at the playoffs? Haas returns to the Meadowlands, but would the Giants be doing the bullying? And Seahawks rookie Joey Galloway doesn't disappoint. NFL PrimeTime. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling your way. Next. Hello once again, everybody. I'm Chris Berman. Welcome to Week 11 of NFL Primetime. I'll tell you what, after last week, which was disappointing, starting with Cleveland's impending move, great games today, some great finishes, and a shocking development in Dallas. We will show it all to you, but I can't do that alone. It's too much. I got Tom Jackson, and I got the judge, Bill Pito. Sunday Night Football on ESPN had a couple of hot teams going. The Philadelphia Eagles had won 4 of their last 5. And the Denver Broncos have won 3 of their last 4. Another thing going in the Broncos' favor, they were 3 for 3 under the lights thus far this year. Something had to give. Let's go to the vet and see what happened. As chilly night, Rodney Peete, 4-1 as a starter, rolls out and hits Reggie Johnson. First catch of the year, might as well make it a touchdown. 7-0 Eagles. Broncos first position, John Elway goes up top. Anthony Miller, 46 yards, we're tied at 7. Eagles lead it now 14-7 on the second. Mike Mamula, the top draft choice, pass rushing specialist, nails Elway. John would leave with a concussion, would not return. Replacement Hugh Millen tried to lead the Broncos back down 21-13 in the 4th, but no. Michael Zordich forces the fumble. Mamula picks it up, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling to the 16-yard line, setting up another score. And this night, no late comebacks for Denver. And an impressive win for Philadelphia coming off the Monday night game at Dallas. The Eagles beat the Broncos 31-13 and now up their mark to 6-4 as Peete now 5-1 as a starter. Peete, 264 yards passing. That's his most for the Eagles this year. Fred Barnett, 7 catches for 105 yards. Hey, next Sunday, Sunday Night Football shows the team with the best record in the NFL. The Chiefs at 9-1 host the Oilers at Arrowhead. Week 11, it was a doozy. When we return, Colts and Saints, the Marshall Plan, would it work in his hometown? And Joey Galloway, unstoppable for the Seabags.
Hey, you think you got a game? Mine's a hard-hitting, tear-em-up, turf-eating, tight-rope walking, stick 'em. Let's go at it. Scud lunching, end-zone dancing, trench-loving, matchup making. Don't call me slow. Over-the-top, turkey leg-eating, high-flying, steam-rolling, hole-closing, go-to guy dressed in mud kind of game. You want some of that? Bring your best game. Madden NFL 96, the ultimate judge on any of these home arenas. If it's in the game, EA Sports. It's in the game.
Have you heard the word on the bird at Mickey D's? For a limited time, get 2 of a kind. 2 for $2, 2 for just $2. For real. 2 6-piece chicken McNuggets for just $2. Oh, dipping McNuggets in savory sauces. Ooh, too tasty. Or 2 McChicken sandwiches, 2 for $2. It's McDonald's price. What a break, what a break, a break of which I will partake. Have you had your break today?
Nice pants.
Dockers, flat front khakis.
Our truck has broken down. We need help.
Better call Dad Collect.
Mike!
What, girl? I should dial 1-800-COLLECT? I'll save Dad lots of money on the car? And come Christmas, there'll be extra presents under the tree? Aw, thanks, girl.
NFL PrimeTime is brought to you by Logo Athletic. Get real with authentic team apparel.
And welcome back to NFL PrimeTime. Indianapolis Colts started the year with a lot of hope. They were tied for first for a while in the AFC East, struggling a little bit lately. New Orleans Saints are one of the last teams to win a game, but the Saints have been coming on. Colts, though, had something going for them today. If you've ever been to Bourbon Street in New Orleans, you know you need to get used to that situation a little bit. They came into town with 10 players who grew up in the Bayou, including Marshall Faulk. Here we go with the Marshall plan of a big game for Ted Marchibroda. Well, Marchibroda, and that was offensive coordinator Lindy Infante talking to his young quarterback Paul Justin, says, hand it to the local kid, Marshall Faulk. He gets in here for a touchdown, 7-0 Colts, but the Saints come marching back. Jim Everett to Torrance Small. It's a big pass. Touchdown, 7-7 at the half. Colts flat with the youngster Justin, the offensive MVP of the World League in the game. Justin the snaps, but falls on it just in time. Next play, Justin is sacked by Ronaldo Turnbull. The Saints can sack you, and Justin finished 10 of 13 for 90 yards. Jim Harbaugh hobbled with the groin, but would they bring him on? Well, you got Kerry Blanchard. He's 9 for 9. Field goals make it 9 for 10. Blocked by Turnbull. The Colts come away empty-handed. 7-7 game still in the third quarter. Everett to his tight end, Herb Smith. This kid's a good player. Herb Smith caught 9 for 83 today. Jim Mora says, let's get it in. We need Mora. Third and goal from the 2, Everett. Better early than late. Quit early. Touchdown, 14-7 Saints. So bring in Jim Harbaugh. Justin out, Harbaugh in. And Harbaugh, what does he do? He delivers, as he's done all year, to Roosevelt. In the flat, he takes it the rest of the way, and the game is tied 14-all. However, Roosevelt taunts with the spike, gives the Saints better field position on the ensuing kick. Leads to a field goal, 17-14 the Saints. Now, Harbaugh out of the pocket to Brian Stabline. Not Kenny Stabline, the snake, but Brian Stabline. But they rolled, and Harbaugh's over the line of scrimmage, Tom.
Yeah, you can see the ball, the line of scrimmage there. Clearly, the 19-yard line. Harbaugh will fade to the 30 and then move through the pocket as he comes up the 25-yard line, and they're clearly across the line of scrimmage before he lets go of the ball.
Good call by the officials. So Blanchard, looks like me off the 18th tee. It's a snap hook. It's in the woods. He better hit a provisional. They don't give him in football. And the former Saint kicker misses it, and the Saints beat the Colts 17-14. So the New Orleans Saints, after that awful start, have won 4 of their last 5, Tommy. And of those 4 of the last 5, and they've beaten all teams with winning records. I mean, let's give the Saints the nod here. They've beaten, Miami, San Francisco, the Rams, and now the Colts. So give them credit, they're coming around.
Well, a much improved defense. When you think about Martin and Turnbull up front for that defensive line, they're rather small. The rushing yards that they were giving up through the first 5 weeks of the season, over 160 per game. They have almost cut that in half the last 4 or 5 games. So what they have done is now stop the run and start dictating. Then you can let those guys do what they do best, rush the passer.
And I think something else needs to be said. Look, he hadn't won a Super Bowl, he hadn't been to a championship game, but before Jim Mora coached the New Orleans Saints, they were awful. People want him out of town, they'll finish at 500 and maybe even a little better. He knows what he's doing, and he's showing it right now. When we return on NFL Primetime, we have plenty more to show you. The Bucs and Lions. Well, the Bucs try to make even Rasputin sweat a little bit. Wayne Fontes in a must-win. And the Panthers going for 5 in a row. But the Reverend Isaac Bruce had other ideas.
In his illustrious baseball career, Babe Ruth hit 714 home runs. Once he even called his own shot. This holiday, thanks to Baseball Weekly, Babe Ruth can help you make some calls of your own. Because now, with every 1-year subscription to Baseball Weekly, you'll get a limited edition phone card commemorating the life of Babe Ruth. You'll get 10 minutes of long-distance calling free with your paid order. How about that? Baseball Weekly, the most complete guide to who's up, who's out, and what's what in baseball. In each issue, you'll get team reports, every box score, major and minor league news, top college action, trends in the marketplace, vital stats for fantasy leaguers, even a page for kids. Just call this number to order your gift subscription and get 52 issues for just 77 cents an issue, plus the Babe Ruth Collector's phone card. So order today. Baseball Weekly, a great call.
The curtain's going up for another season of college hoops on ESPN. Wednesday, the round ball season tips off with the preseason NIT, featuring the best and brightest of college basketball. At 7:30, the Manhattan Jaspers take on Bobby Crimmins and Georgia Tech in Atlanta. At 9:30, DePaul and Michigan square off in Ann Arbor. And in the nightcap, it's Weber State versus Fresno State at midnight. This year, be there at the beginning for a great hoop season on ESPN, where every game counts.
What's going through his head?
The street if he jumps.
Maybe I should move my car.
Nice pants.
Dockers, flat front khakis.
I should have gotten a dog.
Well, it was a wild day, Billy, and we had the Cowboys playing the 49ers, a lot of other important games, but it doesn't get any better than the Jags in the bags.
It rhymes. And also, it's hard to tell which team is in its first year. Seattle has a first-year coach and a quarterback who is regressing in Rick Meyer. The Seahawks turnover differential is a -15. They're 3-6 and in last place. Jacksonville has a first-year coach and a quarterback who is progressing in Mark Brunell. The Jags are 3-6 and in last place. So which team is the expansion team? Answer, you can't really tell. Let's take a look. Erickson's Miami team beat Coughlin's Boston College team in September of 1993, now up against each other in the National Football League. No score first quarter. Chris Warren, the second leading rusher in the AFC. He's going to go 29 yards and a touchdown. It's 7-0 Seattle. The Jags quarterback, Mark Brunell, leads the team in rushing. First and goal at the 3. Brunell rolls left. Sprinting, touchdown. His second rushing TD this year. Tommy, we're tied at 7.
Yeah, take a look at a problem for the Jaguars defensively. The safeties at the bottom of the screen change the defensive scheme, go to man-to-man coverage off the blitz. Vinnie Clark at the top of the screen misses the call, leaves Joey Galloway alone in zone coverage for a touchdown.
14-7 Seattle. Now to the second quarter. Galloway, you remember the punt return from last week? Watch what he does here. Galloway seems to be hemmed in. Watch him stay on his feet. Brings it back the other way. And we're going to have a galloping Galloway. Watch Warren leading the play. The block right there. 86 yards for Galloway. Longest play from scrimmage in Seahawks history. 21-14 Seattle. Wow. Wow is right. Jags come right back. Next drive, 1st and 10 of the 15. Brunell goes back to pass. Ernest Givens from Louisville. Tied at 21, Tommy.
We take a look here again. Vinnie Clark, bottom of the screen. Joey Galloway comes up. We talk about this all the time. Bump coverage, but he doesn't get the bump. Allows Joey Galloway, who lined up on the numbers, to give himself some room. Fade to the corner of the end zone. Another touchdown.
Look at the numbers for Galloway. Late fourth quarter, Jaguars trail 38-30. 2nd and 10 at their 23. Brunell somehow staying up. Finds Willie Jackson. Jackson hit by Jay Bellamy. It's a fumble. Can't have the turnover here. Seattle recovers. Dennis Erickson is now 3-0 against Tom Coughlin as Seattle wins it 47-30. The most points for Seattle in a game since 1985. Galloway last week, the longest punt return in Seattle history. This week, as we mentioned, the longest play from scrimmage in Seattle history. Another solid day for Warren, 27 carries, 121 yards. And Meyer with one of his better days in a while, 18-31, 244 yards and 2 scores. And Chris, Seattle now has won 2 in a row. They've scored 77 points in the last 2 games.
Well, they're going. I was waiting for Meyer to start going this year, and, of course, Galloway will help him loads. Well, Billy, Carolina Panthers had done something nobody had ever done before as an expansion. You first of all win 4 games at all, let alone win 4 games in a row. Teams who have been around 30 years don't do that in the NFL anymore. But it was the St. Louis Rams that got off to a good start this year. And you know what they had going for them today? Something old. Jackie Slater back for his 20th season. Something new, a spanking new building. And here we go, the Trans World Dome, $280 million, 65,000 plus. 65,598 on hand today to watch. Kerry Collins have a pass hit by Roman Candle Piper into the hands of Toby Wright. He was right. 4 interceptions against Collins today for the Rams. Here is Chris Miller, complete to the Reverend Isaac Bruce. Look at the moves he makes, Tom. Look at him dive down to the 12-yard line. Then, 2 plays later, Miller, he knows where the bread is buttered. It's Isaac Bruce. Touchdown, 12 yards. Look at the concentration.
Yeah, and a great job of catching the ball. And look at him keep his feet in bounds same time. Great job.
So Isaac Bruce, and the first passing touchdown allowed in the last 5 games by the Panthers have been great defensively the last month. But Collins had done beep, 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 beep. Here comes the offense, and a 14-7 Ram lead. The Panthers are in it. Score 14-10 now in the 3rd quarter. Panthers driving, but Collins fumble, and the Rams have fallen on the football. Big 3rd play coming up here for St. Louis. Chris Miller, flush from the pocket. Finds one of our favorite players this year, Todd Heaton McKinchen. Downfield to the 2. He was shaken up in the play, but hung in there.
Yeah, great job here by center Bern Bostic. As you watch Darian Conner coming up the middle, watch him get leg whipped right there, and that's what allowed the flush from the pocket.
2 plays later, Miller goes to Connor's replacement, Brett Farnez, who's trying to cover Troy Drayton. It's a touchdown, 21-10 St. Louis. Carolina, well, some days you do look like a first-year team. Collins strip, Bumble. It's picked up by Torin Doran, and he tears the heart out of Carolina. Look at him go. Touchdown. In 2 games, both wins by the St. Louis Rams over Carolina. 13 turnovers, and they carried Jackie Slater off the field. He came back. He started playing in the 40s. He's still playing in the 90s. To be honest, he's played the 4th most games of anyone in the NFL. Today was 259. Only Blanda, Jim Marshall, Jan Stenerud Moore, new building, old player. Rams win at 28-17, another 100-yard day for Isaac Cruz. That's 6 in a row. Bettis at 91 yards. The Bucks and the Lions. And, well, this was what we call a Rasputin game for Wayne Fonts. He had won at 0-3, won at 2-5. He'd on make the playoffs, said the owner, or else. Fonts' Lions at 3-6 against the Bucks. So, why don't we give it to Barry Sanders? He only had a 200-yard half against Tampa Bay last year. So the reverse, where is everyone? 55 yards, it's a 14-10 Lion lead. But the Bucks fight back. Look at Jerry Ellison, looking like Willie Ellison. Look at the hole. And Tom, what about the tackling here?
Great job. No, not good tackling, but a great job of Ellison cutting back through the defenders and getting to the end zone.
I threw you a curveball. Nobody made a tackle. Nice run by Ellison, 17-14. Jason Hanson blocked field goal. Now watch what happens. Remember that Rams-Saints play last year? The ball is still live in the end zone, and it's picked up by Curtis Buckley. And the offense get off the field. It's like a Norris Division game. They were caught with a line shift. There's like 50 players on the field. At any rate, it just goes as a missed field goal. The penalties nullified, etc. Well, meanwhile, it's Casey Weldon in for Gilbert, who is struggling. It's a fumble. Chris Spielman recovers, leads to a field goal, 20-17 Detroit. 4th quarter, 3rd and 4 for Detroit. Scott Mitchell, the Brett Perriman. Look at Perriman down to the 1-yard line, Tom.
Yeah, you'll see Perriman here on the replay, bottom of the screen. This is a double zone. Thomas Everett getting his half of the football field. He fades to the numbers a little too far. Perriman gets inside of him. Ball delivered very nicely by Scott Mitchell.
And so Mitchell, who's one of the taller players in the league, dives across the line. Touchdown, Lions by 10. Under a minute to go, 3rd and 30. And Van Malone gets called for pass interference. So Tampa Bay has the ball on the 1. which Ellison runs in for a touchdown, 27-24. Here comes the onside kick by Kamal Husted. But Herman Moore, not only does he make leaping catches of passes, he makes leaping catches of onside kicks. Wayne Fonts, now the all-time winner, passing George Wilson, the all-time winner for Lions coaches with his 56th win. And here's Detroit. They had to win it. They did. They win at 27-24. Sanders at 92 yards. Perriman 10 for $125 more. Also a 100-yard game and caught 9 balls. And, well, what can we say about Wayne? 3 for 3 in the games he had to have. 3 for 3 for Rasputin.
You know, we talked about it last week that this was a must-win situation, and Detroit would find a way to win the football game. And I thought that Scott Mitchell played extremely well today. You got good running from Barry Sanders, but I want to talk a minute about the mentality of this football team. I think that Wayne never knows what team is going to show up next week against the Chicago Bears. It's not a must-win situation. I'm sure that they may not win, but I think there's no excuse for a football team playing as well as they can play and then coming up a la the way they came up against Atlanta. You just don't know which team's going to play.
But you got to give them the nod when they try to when they try to short sheet his bed or poison the food. The Lions and Wayne Fonts always come out on top. We shall see what they do at Chicago next week, Tommy. Shall be interesting. When we return, Marv Levy, one of the best sights all year. Marv back on the sideline for the Bills, and for the 151st time, Packers and the Bears.
All right, gentlemen. Tomorrow, your butts are mine. Lights up.
Man, I'm hungry. Russell Athletic Wear is made to handle the toughest situations on and off the field.
Hot dog. French fry. Hamburger. Tacos. Tacos grande. Pizza. Coach, going somewhere, ladies. Hard work. Dedication. Commitment.
Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Get up there, large butt. Go, go.
Got anything to eat?
What are you? I'm Face.
I think that we could use a snack. You need to relax. I'm on arm. To the kitchen!
Hiya, Joe. You got anything to eat? I got these Eagle snacks.
Eagle snacks. Eagle snacks.
What you feed your face?
Enter the ESPN Football Fanatics Sweepstakes, sponsored by Visa, to win a trip for 2 to Super Bowl 30 or one of hundreds of other prizes.
God, I love football.
Watch this week's ESPN Sunday night NFL game between Houston and Kansas City.
Wow, look at that.
Call the 800 number displayed during the third quarter and answer a question about the game, or enter on ESPN Net Sports Zone.
I'm telling you, it's a wonderful thing.
The ESPN Football Fanatics Sweepstakes, sponsored by Visa, the official card of the NFL.
Hello? Steve, hi. I've checked the inventory. Here's the situation. I can do 25,000 units. I can give you the top 10 sellers in margin. I can give you the top 10 sellers in volume. I can break it down by category, by week, by store, by garment. Yeah, come on in.
I won't be but a minute.
You could double your sales. Miss, do you mind? What do you mean nobody's going to wear chartreuse? I don't want to wear chartreuse with no hair. I'm wearing it now, as a matter of fact. Would you send me an email to confirm? Yeah, this is very good. You won't regret it. You won't.
Last week, as we started the show, it was a bad week for football. The games weren't really that interesting. The Cleveland Browns looked like they were moving out of town. You've had football. You've got artificial turf injuries. You've got domes. You've got things that weren't the way they designed this game. But today, Chicago, Green Bay, in the snow, wind chill 15 degrees at the almost frozen tundra of Lambeau Field in a game for first place, the 151st meeting. This is the National Football League. Here we go. From Lambeau, Brett Favre. Ankle made him iffy all week. He started. Reggie White didn't start for only the second time in his career, but he still was a factor. Favre's first test. He throws to Mark Ingram, 28 yards against the Bears, and a first down. He's open by 5 yards. That leads to a screen pass to Edgar Allan Poe Bennett. Quote the Packers, nevermore. Look at the blocking, look at the touchdown. Very early, a 7-7 game.
And obviously, Coach Holmgren has communicated. Everybody has to block. Look at Ingram down at the end zone, blocking, giving Bennett a pass to get that score.
The Packers' first play on the next drive. Favre, Robert Brooks. He's open by 5 yards. Makes it over the end zone. 14-7 Pack. Mark Carrier sprained the knee on the play, did not return. Favre completed his first 8 passes 16 of 21 in the first half for almost 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. What about Reggie, Tommy?
Well, you see Reggie there spot shadowed. You're going to see him go by the tight end, Ryan Wetnight, and then get to the quarterback right there for the sack.
And his numbers in the first half: 4 tackles, a sack, 5 quarterback pressures. He didn't start. 13 seconds left in the half, though. The Bears go the length of the field in a minute. Eric Kramer to Curtis Conway, touchdown. Ties Ken Cavanaugh's record from the 40s with touchdown catches in 7 straight games, were 21 all. What a game this was. The rookie Rashaan Salam, 1-yard plunge, 28-21 Wannstedt's Bears. Packers first play after the ensuing kickoff. Favre to Robert Brooks. He's open by 5 yards. He beats James Burton. Brooks goes into the end zone and keeps on running. You think the Pack don't like their crowd at Lambeau? Hey, look at me now. We're tied 28 all. Fourth quarter, the Pack comes back. Have you seen this before? It's a screen to Edgar Bennett. Same play, same dive, same result. 35-28, Pack. 4th and 2, Bears driving. Kramer. But it's picked off by, well, the Butler did it. Leroy Butler did it. But Chicago, Gutty gets the ball back. Wannstedt saved his timeout. Kramer to Jeff Graham, crackers it for 21 yards. Same drive. Tick, 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 tick. 10, 9, 8. It's incomplete to Graham. How much time will they have left? A throw to Michael Timpson. Incomplete. It's just 2 seconds to go. Can the Bears tie it? Kramer. Good rush by the Pack. Steps up. Incomplete. For the 6th time in the last 7 meetings, it's the Packers over the Bears in a game with 9 touchdowns. The Packers beat the Bears 35-28. Brett Favre, 5 touchdown passes, 300-yard games in both wins this year against the Chicago Bears. Kramer also had a 300-yard game. Graham, a 100-yard receiving game. Brooks, 138 yards receiving. Whew, Tommy, these are the Packers and the Bears. But you know what? First of all, they ought to take a medicine ball like Thursday and Friday every week and throw it at Brett Favre's ankle, because if he plays this way when he's hurt, heaven forbid if he's 100%.
Well, it seemed like we saw more scoring today than the previous 150 meetings between these two teams. But you saw 2 quarterbacks on top of their game using the weapons that their coaches have put in place. And I think that Brett Favre was never better. The 5 touchdowns today. Going to be hard to deal with the rest of the season. Both defenses left a lot to be desired, not only in terms of coverage, where everybody seemed like they were open by 5 yards every play, but also in terms of tackling.
Brett Favre is tough. He's now made 55 straight starts. That's the most for a quarterback right now running the National Football League as we go inside the numbers. He's also tough on opponents, most notably the Chicago Bears. We told you he's thrown for over close to 650 this year against Chicago. And the Packers, 6 wins, 18 touchdown passes, only 2 picks. He had a couple recently in which he'd like to have back. 4 losses. He's thrown 9 interceptions. But the win makes the Pack 6-4 and the Bears 6-4, tied for first place atop the NFC Norris division. When we return on NFL PrimeTime. The Bills pass rush trying to get to the run and shoot of Atlanta. And Dan Marino set a record. Could he set the Dolphins on fire against the Pats, though?
A spirit of teamwork. That's what makes the Home Depot proud to be a sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games in Atlanta and the 96 Paralympic Games. We're also proud to have Newell as a member of our Home Depot Olympic family. Since 1903, Newell has brought you drapery hardware, paint applicators, and shelving systems. Striving to be the best is the mark of Newell and of Home Depot, helping to bring the games to America.
At Riders Jeans and Casual Clothes, we studied hundreds, thousands of regular folks to learn their shapes and sizes. And then designed jeans that give them a great-looking fit. You'll find it's like we knew your size exactly, somehow. Riders Jeans, cut to make real people look real good.
ESPN Net Sports Zone, the touchdown on the internet. Total NFL coverage. 24 hours a day. A blitz of information you can't find anywhere else. ESPN Net Sports Zone, the #1 football site on the internet.
Hey, you think you got a game? Mind the hard-hitting, tear 'em up, turf-eating, tight-rope walking, stick 'em. Let's go at it, scud launching, end zone dancing, trench loving, matchup making. Don't call me slow. Over the top, turkey leg eating, high flying, steam rolling, hole closing, go-to guy dressed in mud kind of game. You want some of that? Bring your best game. Madden NFL 96, the ultimate judge on any of these home arenas. If it's in the game, EA Sports. It's in the game.
Let's move on now to the AFC East. When, like old times, the Bills and Dolphins began the day tied in first at 6-3. The Bills were hosting another first-place team, the Atlanta Falcons, with the same record, the last of the Mohegans, a run-and-shoot team going into blustery Edmund Fitzgerald-type weather at Rich Stadium, where the Bills have been so good and undefeated this year. But better than all that going for Buffalo was the return of their head coach, Marv Levy. And Marv so loved by the team, by the community, by everyone. First quarter, though, Tommy, with the wind swirling, Atlanta tried to run, didn't they?
Yeah, inside move by Bruce Smith. Bob Whitfield allowed him to go inside. They run the shovel pass, which we very seldom see be successful, right there for 11 yards.
Then Jeff George hands to Ironhead. It's a touchdown. The Falcons running early, 7-0 lead. Thurman Thomas was iffy right up until kickoff. He played, but the youngster Derek Holmes was the man that did the bulk of the work on the ground. What a find he is late in the draft this year, as is Terrell Davis for Denver. Jim Kelly to Billy Brooks, 31 yards. They've hooked up again, and we're tied at 7. Jimbo 7 for 7. No one more experienced throwing into that win than Jim Kelly. Kelly, Delani Johnson, the youngster, coughs it up. Chris Dolman, defensive end, with the pickoff. But Alton Montgomery is flagged, and the Bills capitalize on the break. Kelly, Brooks, 15-yard touchdown, 17 each for the veteran Brooks in 6 games, 14-7. Then Kelly gives to Thomas. He runs into Sean Feeney, his own left tackle. He would be shaken up with lead, but would return. Bills settled for a field goal on that drive, and then George to Terrence Mathis. And chances are it's a 32-yard gain. Ironhead scores on the next play. We're tied at 17. Bills, though, drive down the field, and Steve Christie, lightning striking again. Nature's taken over his one-track mind. Baby, I could sing the whole song. 20-17 Buffalo, but I won't. Kelly tries to take Russell Copeland in the flat. Anthony Phillips picks it off. Watch what happens. Kelly makes a great athletic tackle. But unfortunately, this is, watch carefully here. Anthony Phillips, turn away if you don't want to see this. Phillips' leg snaps. Clean tackle, a good play by Kelly, but boy, broken tibia, fibula. Everyone obviously concerned on hopefully Anthony Phillips have successful surgery on it, and we'll be back in action one day. 23-17, the Bills late in the fourth. George to Eric Metcalf, 27-yard gain. Falcons drive. George tries for the win, but Bert Emanuel isn't there. Kurt Schultz, he knows everything. And the Bills remain undefeated at home this year. They beat the Falcons 23-17. Look at this. The Bills 7-3 on the year, as despite some good numbers for that run and shoot. It was a big game for the youngster Derek Holmes, and afterwards, Marv Levy talked about getting back on the sidelines.
Today I had to make decisions between do we go for it on 4th down or not. At home I had to decide between potato chips and popcorn, you know.
Oh, boy, just a month after surgery, it's great to see Marv back. Holmes at 100 yards. But numbers, well, talk about numbers, 47,003. That was the record for passing yards set by Fran Tarkenton until Dan Marino hits Irving Fryer early in the game against the Patriots. Don Shula says, what is your name again, young man? Where have you been? Well, you know where he's been. Those two have got great work left in him, obviously, as Dan still going for all the records this year. But not impressed with the Patriots. Curtis Martin, 19 yards. Tommy, and then they get a break.
You're going to see number 28, Gene Atkins, do a fade right there to Bengals, come off his man, almost got the interception.
4th and 1, though, as Bill Parcells is wont to do, to go for it. Touchdown, 7-0 P-Men. Dolphins, though, come right back. As Marino, play action to Byers, hits Blaney Pomeroy. Splits the defense into the end zone. Touchdown, we're tied at 7. After Stoyanovic's field goal very late in the first 10 minutes, 10-7 Dolphins. Then it's Dave Meggett, and
look at that little Meggett run.
Haven't been able to say this much, Tommy, this year, but look at him go. Remember the last minute and a half, and Meggett brings it all the way up to the 39-yard line. So Matt Farr, who missed a 19-yarder off the crossbar, which is impossible to do, then it's the longest of his career, and he's been around since 79. That's a 55-yarder, 10-10 at the half. Third quarter, Drew Bledsoe to Vincent Ultimate Brisby. He's open by 5 yards. 17-10 Patriots. But the Dolphins come right back. Marino, play action to O.J. McDuffie. Beautiful pass tied at 17.
Yeah, and most times defensive mistakes are made in terms of assignments. O.J. McDuffie in motion. Maurice Hurst picked by his own teammate Ricky Reynolds and leaves McDuffie open to the corner of the end zone.
Game tied at 17, all Marino. First rush by 53, Chris Slade. Then Willis McGinnis, number 55. It's a fumble. Troy Barnett recovers for the Patriots. That leads, just like they diagrammed it. Bledsoe doink off of Mega's hands into Ben Amazing Technicolor Dream Coach's hands. 24-17 pass. Curtis Martin, a 1-yard run in the fourth quarter. 31-17 pass. Dolphins driving. Can't believe they've given up 31 in New England. Marino presses. Bad throw. Myron Guyton picks it off. So Miami, since Marino had returned, had won their 2 games and had held their opponents under 20. With San Francisco coming up on a Monday night in a week, maybe they look past the Patriots. Team they beat by 17 early this year up in New England. But this time it's the Patriots that have a head of steam. And the Patriots beat the Dolphins 34-17. So Tommy, at the end of the day, the AFC East, after 10 games played, the Buffalo Bills, who are alone at 7-3, and the Miami Dolphins at 6-4, and of course a welcome sight to have Marv Levy back. Give the Bills credit. They understand how to play in that win. Some of Jim Kelly's throws didn't look great, but he threw it while his guys were open, so it didn't matter if the wind blew it a little off course.
Balls delivered on time.
Yes.
He knows it's not going to get there in a perfect spiral, but it's going to get there before the defenders can close. And I think an awfully tall order today for the Falcons when you talk about the emotional edge that the Bills would have getting Marv Levy back on the sidelines, getting Thurman Thomas back in that lineup. When you look at the next game between the Dolphins and the Patriots, I think certainly it's a clear picture. When Curtis Martin runs well for Bill Parcells, it takes some of the pressure off Drew Bledsoe and allows him to get more comfortable than he's been in the past. Certainly we saw some contributions as well from David Meggett in the special teams. But that said, Drew Bledsoe still does not look like the Drew Bledsoe that we saw most of last year.
Although wins will cure that a little bit. One little note that we're amazed at. Bruce Smith sacked Jeff George twice today. He's now sacked him 9.5 times in his career when he used to play for the Colts, but it's not even close to the all-time leader. Ken O'Brien, 17.5 times sacked by Bruce Smith. You got to give Kenny the nod for hanging around that long. But at any rate, a couple of sacks by Smith and the Bills win the game. When we return, I had to get that out. That's the most amazing number of the week. I don't care. Well, oh yeah, the 49ers played the Cowboys, didn't they, Tom? Jerry Rice and company. Harvey Williams and company. Could the Raiders go 8-2 by beating the Giants?
The family of the future will have many hundreds of television channels.
Gee, mister, won't that be confusing?
Not with this, a video guide. It'll let them see what's on 7 days into the future, or what's on right now. It'll give them instant news and sports scores. And with just one touch, they'll even be able to tape record their favorite television shows. Don't forget the tape.
So what do you think they'd call this video guide?
Video guide. It's about time. Introducing the TL series from Acura. It has all the features of its luxury class competitors at a very competitive price. The Acura TL series. Once again, we've taken the concept of luxury in an entirely new direction. See the new, powerful Acura 3.2 TL, now at your Acura dealer.
Mom's not home. Page her.
Right this second, someone needs a ride. With a Motorola pager, you know, now.
Thanks for picking us up, Mom.
Don't hug me, you're wet.
Mommy. Okay, you got the pager number, right?
Right this second, it's just the two of you.
We're going out.
But if the baby needs you, you know, now.
Well, no page, no problem.
Let's have dessert.
They say when a cowboy gets thrown, he has to get right back up. Last year, I took my share of hits. I may have been down. But if you think I'm staying down, get real.
Logo Athletic, authentic team apparel.
Well, and here we go. The Giants and the Raiders strike up the band as Jeff Hostetler returns for the first time in the Meadowlands. That was his last game when he was coached by Ray Handley. When he was at the Giants, led him to a Super Bowl. Dave Brown back to pass, and Pat Swilling It's a fumble. Anthony Smith recovers. The Raiders lead the league in takeaways. They're 26th of the year. Pat Swilling having a big year.
One of the great pass rushers of all time. Great underneath move on Doug Riesenberg, and then reaching out and popping the ball out for the fumble.
3 plays later, Hostetler to Rocket Ismail. Beautiful pass. The Raiders passing game, 10-0 Raiders. They lead at 10-3 at the half. But after that, the Giants pretty much held them in check. Dave Brown was gutty. Arthur Marshall couldn't come up with this, though. And the Giants settle for a field goal. It's a 10-6 game. Giants still having scoring trouble. But no trouble dealing with Steve Wisniewski as Mike Strahan says, get out of here. With the score 10-6, Giants inside the 20 again, this time 3rd and short. Brown to Marshall. Hangs on as the first down. Next play, Brown. The quarterback sneak looking very Haas-like. 13-10, the Giants smelling upset.
And again, we see a defensive mistake in terms of assignments. You're going to watch the motion by Rodney Hampton. Watch both linebackers. I don't think you need 2 to cover him. As they move out, leave the middle open for the quarterback draw.
And so Brown gives the Giants the lead. But Hostetler says, wait a minute, I used to play here, but Phillippe Sparks says you don't play here anymore. A beautiful interception. Timmy Brown contested it, but it was a good call. Look at the juggle. He grabs it, he's down, and the Giants get the ball on the touchback. But the Raiders get the ball back after a punt. 3rd and 6, Haas scrambling. But a penalty, he was short, and it's Sparks involved again, this time in a negative play for the Giants. He hit him and went to the head. They flagged it, and it helped the Raiders get a first down, which helped them get a touchdown. Harvey Williams, 85 yards, and the touchdown on the 4th, 17-13. Phillippe Sparks still upset at the call. But with 4 minutes to go, the Giants on 4th and 2 keep the drive going. Mike Gerard, 5 yards, down to the 40. Now it's 4th and 8, under 2 minutes to go. The Giants need a miracle. Big Chester McLaughlin, one of the best in the business, tips the ball. Arthur Marshall, after the ball change direction, can't handle it. Giant fans, hey, Giants they were game today. And the Raiders struggled for the 2nd straight time on the road, struggling at Cincy, struggling at the Giants. When you're 8-2, you don't have to apologize. The Oakland Raiders are 8-2. Heading into their home game against Dallas next week, the Giants fall to 3-7. When we return, the 49ers and the Cowboys, and we also have the Vikings and the Cardinals. They went to overtime. The 49ers and Cowboys. Shocking developments.
It's a big season in the NBA. More big-time slams and jams by the league's big men. Exclusive stories on Shaq, Michael, Patrick, Hakeem, and David. Who's bigger, badder, better, weirder? The hot stuff on teams, players, coaches, and who's got the jump on 96. It's the NBA preview that gives you the big picture as only ESPN can. In-depth, up-to-date. The ESPN Pro Basketball NBA Preview Magazine. It's big, and it's on newsstands November 14th.
Something happens when you read the Wall Street Journal every business day. You start seeing opportunities where you never saw them before. See for yourself. Subscribe now to the Wall Street Journal. The Journal keeps you right at the heart of what's going on in business. Call now for the Journal and get your free guide to planning your financial future. Facts you need to start planning a secure future right now. Get 10 weeks of the Wall Street Journal for just $38 and get the guide free.
Call now, 800-544-1000. That's 800-544-1000.
Hey, Dan. What's wrong?
Hey, Grant. Bad show. Hair looked bad, teleprompter went down, made some mistakes on some highlights.
I got something to cheer you up.
Thanks, Grant. Appreciate it.
No problem, man.
All right, gentlemen. Tomorrow, your butts are mine. Lights out. Man, I'm hungry.
Russell Athletic Wear is made to handle the toughest situations on and off the field.
Hot dog. French fry. Hamburger. Tacos grande. Pizza. Coach, going somewhere, ladies. Hard work. Dedication. Commitment.
Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Get up there, Lord, bud. Go, go.
After the Vikes lost to Chicago on Monday night of Week 9, Minnesota coach Dennis Green said the Vikes could win the rest of their games. You got to say something when you're 3-5. But last week, the Vikes edged Green Bay in just about a must-win game, so 1 down, 7 to go. And away we go to Arizona. You're dying to see who won this game. Warren Moon went over 40,000 yards last week in Arizona Sunday. Second quarter, over the middle to a wide-open Jake Reed, 32 yards and a touchdown, 10-0 Minnesota. Next drive, Cardinals' Dave Craig. Frank Sanders, watch this great catch by Sanders. Same drive now. Craig, the quick slant to Rob Moore, 10 yards and a touchdown. Tommy, what do you have?
Well, a case of Dwayne Washington, the cornerback, and a fine when he is lining up a little deep there. You're on the 10-yard line. He's on the 2. He fades to the goal line, doesn't cut off the slant pattern, an easy throw there.
Still in the second, Vikes driving. Moon to Chris Carter, who always
does nothing but catch touchdown.
Little controversy, though. Looks like Carter only had 1 foot in. Refs rule a TD, TJ.
Yeah, you can see the officials rule that he was actually pushed out right here by Tito Paul, even though he only got 1 foot in bounds.
Sixth straight game, the Cards have allowed 2 or more touchdown passes, 17-7 Vikes. Fourth quarter, Vikes up 24-16. Craig to Wendell Gaines, who gains 2 yards and a touchdown. Cards down 2. Craig says, hey, let's go for 2, and they would. Craig to Rob Moore. He's got the 2-point conversion. 24-24. We're tied. And we head into overtime in the OT. The Vikes on the 50. Moon over the middle. Cadre Ismail. Oh, he stayed on his feet. This is the ball game if he can get into the end zone. Ismail all the way in for the game-winning touchdown. And the Vikings with a dramatic victory over Arizona, 30-24. It's the 19th overtime game this year in the NFL. That ties the record for most OT games in a season. Vikes into overtime for the 8th time in the last 20 regular season games. Vikes are 4-4 in those 8 games. The Bengals at the the Houston Oilers. Bud Adams in attendance at what is or was Houston's #1 professional sports team. Opening kickoff. Jeff Hill returning it 41 yards and tack on a face mask penalty. So the Bengals got great field position. 2nd and 10, Oilers 26. Blake scrambled for 17 yards, 7 carries, 49 yards rushing for Blake. 2nd and go for the 1. Blake to Eric Bieniemy. Touchdown. Bieniemy's got a whole lot of family members in the stands. It's 7-0 Cincinnati. Still first quarter. Blake picked off. Eddie Robinson. Back the other way. The 30, the 20, the 10. 49 yards and a touchdown. Oilers 19 takeaways this year. 12 interceptions in the last 6 games. It's 10-7 Oilers. Second quarter now. 10-10 tie. Off the kickoff. Mel Gray. A rough game. Fumbles here. Whoa, who's got it? I got it. You got it. Bengals have it. They do. At the 8. 3rd and 10 from the 8. Blake scrambles. Incomplete, though, into double coverage. Tommy.
Yeah, you see Blake fade to the sideline there, throwing the double coverage. Meanwhile, Carl Pickens coming open. But once you move to the sideline, you shorten your field of vision and couldn't deliver the football.
On a 3rd and 1, Blake Pickens, 30 yards and a touchdown. 23-13 Cincinnati. Then the hits happen. Chandler nailed in the knee by Roger Jones. He would not return. X-rays negative. An MRI is set for Monday on Chandler's right knee. Jerry Rome goes to Will Fewer, not Steve McNair. The war zone out there. Fewer to Chris Sanders. Hit hard, stays down. Tough hit. He was dazed, but okay. Same series. Oilers must punt. Camarillo's punt. Rejected by Darrell Williams. Who's got it? Look at this. Pick it up, somebody. No one can pick it up. A safety, 25-13 Bengals. Fourth quarter, more problems for the special teams. Mel Gray, 2nd fumble. Jason Burns recovers on the Oilers 12. Ensuing play. Blake to Pickens. 13th touchdown reception for Pickens. That's a new team record, and Cincinnati goes on to win by the final score of 32-25. The Bengals are worst D in the entire league coming in, but they forced 4 turnovers, record 4 sacks. Pickens, 7 catches, 108 yards. Blake, 21-34 for 220 yards. And Chris, the first win for Cincinnati in Houston in some 11 years.
By the way, Bud Adams, Billy's put off a meeting tomorrow with the mayor of Nashville, says he needs more time, so maybe some hope yet for the Oilers staying in Houston. Well. November 12th. We've been looking at this one for a long time. San Francisco at Dallas, except this one just looked like a blowout. Dallas was 8-1. Defending champion San Francisco 5-4. Steve Young not starting. Elvis Gerback starts at quarterback. Steve Wallace not there to block Charles Haley at the left tackle position. Deion Sanders, now a Cowboy. Offensive and defensive coordinator from last year, gone. Blowout, written all over it for the 49ers. That's why they play the games. Here you go from Big D. Deion, fired up. Steve Young, game time decision, but they knew A day or two ago, he wouldn't go. Barry Switzer, 0-2 last year against George Seifert. Could he turn it around this year? Well, everything was pointed toward Dallas, except for the defense. Look at Jerry Rice split the defense. He's gone. Elvis Gerback hits him. Rice does the rest. 81 yards. Surprise. 7-0 Niners.
Chris, I said that Darren Smith was a great underneath cover guy as a linebacker. I did not say put him on Jerry Rice one-on-one. That was not the game plan.
Short passing, let the stars do the rest. Then Aikman blitzed by Marquez Pope. His left knee hits the turf. Next play, Aikman to Irvin. Marquez Pope strips him of the ball. Merton Hanks, he could go all the way. 36 yards and the duck walk. Very Dion-like, 14-0 Niners. Aikman had to leave the game with a badly bruised left knee. Would not return after this series when Ricky Jackson picks him off, Tom.
Yeah, the matchup here between Deion Sanders and Jerry Rice. You see Deion get rid of him right there. He wants the football. Elvis Gerbach a little bit late with the delivery, but you always look to Rice.
Well, the Niners kick a field goal. They lead 17-0. Here's the next possession in which Aikman was still in. Dana Stubblefield in the #1 defense. Sack him. Aikman comes down. Now he leaves the game after a 4-for-6 performance and the team down 17-0. I'll have a milk. Gerbach. Oh, man, he was much more than a hound dog. To Jerry Rice, 29 yards. Leads to a Derek Lavelle score. Rice in the first half at a $155 against the second-ranked defense in football. Emmitt Smith. Well, you know, you're only going to contain him for a while. A 1-yard run for the Cowboys. Still trailing 24-7 late in the second. Then a drive that started in the shadow of their own goalpost with 6.5 minutes to go. Gerbach to Derek Lavelle, 19 yards, 31-7. San Francisco at the half. One to forget for the Cowboys. Third quarter, as they did last year in the title game, the Cowboys came out strong. Emmitt Smith, let him go. 31 yards. He had a 100-yard day, leads to a field goal, 31-10. Dallas within 3 touchdowns. It's 31-13 as Steve Young helping call the plays, but Elvis Gerbach had this under control. They were doing the jailhouse rock. 38-13 Niners. Nate Newton, Emmitt, can't believe it. Niners. An elation-filled sideline. Jason Garrett came in late for Wade Wilson. An 8-yard touchdown pass to Michael Irvin. He's the all-time receiving yard Cowboy leader. But the Cowboys try an onside kick. Niners recover. Jerry Jones on the sidelines the whole game. Was in shock along with the rest of the Cowboys. Oh, they may play again. But in the last 2 seasons, it's San Francisco 3 and Dallas nothing. The 49ers beat the Cowboys 38-20 in an absolutely shocking development. Dallas only their second loss in 10 games. For the Niners, a game they had to have. Very few believed they could get it, except those in the locker room.
This was a message game, basically. You know, look at the score. I mean, they didn't score until the fourth quarter, 4 minutes. We didn't hang our hats. You know, we came out and we played 4 quarters.
They played 4 quarters indeed. Now, you know, it's only 1 game, and Dallas is certainly in the driver's seat for home field advantage, etc. I thought the most impressive part of the game, outside of the way the Niners came out, 6.5 minutes to go, Tom. They were about the 5 or 6 yard line. Dallas had the momentum at the time. Looked like they were going to take it away from the 49ers, maybe get the ball in good field position, score a field goal, score a touchdown, get close. Gerbach leads them on a drive, 6 minutes, and puts them up 31-7. See it.
This is a gigantic football game. I want to apologize to all the 49er fans for anything that I said this morning. I think that what this game does is show a team that has heart, and I think that certainly the 49ers have the heart of a champion. When you are crippled by injuries, if you come out and play with emotion, if you prepare well, you can come out and do what they did today. I think conversely, certainly we saw the Cowboys in a situation where they did not prepare well for this football game. I think they took it for granted that they were going to come out and blow the 49ers off the football field. That's a big mistake when you're playing the defending champions. And a well-conceived game plan, especially on the offensive end by the 49ers. The short passing game that Sterling Sharp talked about this morning, delivering those passes and then allowing the 49ers to get upfield with the football. And maybe there's never been a better receiver than Jerry Rice at catching the football and then making yards.
Tressman and Carroll, the coordinators, and George Seifert had the game plan scoped out. And the San Francisco 49ers, well, it's a game of attitude. Their attitude's there now for the second part of the season, and Dallas has to wonder, can they beat San Francisco? They still have to scratch their head. We got more football. The AFC champion Chargers on the ropes against the Chiefs. What would happen with the Bolts with their backs to the wall?
Hello? Steve, hi. I've checked the inventory. Here's the situation. I can do 25,000 units. I can give you the top 10 sellers in margin. I can give you the top 10 sellers in volume. I can break it down by category, by week, by store, by garment. Yeah, come on in.
I won't be but a minute.
You could double your sales. Miss, do you mind? What do you mean nobody's gonna wear chartreuse? I don't want to wear chartreuse with no hair. I'm wearing it now, as a matter of fact. Would you send me an email to confirm? Yeah, this is very good. You won't regret it. You won't.
I wasn't looking for love. With just a glance it happened. Love came looking for me. Get out of my way!
Dockers, flat front khakis.
ESPN College Game Day here. Tonight we're in Lester's dorm room to give our viewers more insight into the life of a college football player.
You had quite a day, Lester. Up at 6 for weights, classes till 2, 3 hours of practice. You must be bushed, huh?
Plus, you got a big game Thursday night on ESPN. That's got to make it a lot tougher for you to fall asleep, huh?
Is this linen? Wow, guys, check this out. Ooh, soft at the touch, too.
Primetime Players is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT, the way everyone can save on collect calls. It's easy. Just dial 1-800-COLLECT from any phone and save.
Billy, what do you have?
Here's what we have. My primetime player, Seattle rookie receiver Joey Galloway. He caught 5 catches for 114 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also gets a game ball for running 86 yards for a score on a reverse, the longest run in Seattle history, Tommy.
My primetime player, Brett Favre of the Green Bay Packers, 25 of 33, 336 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He gets a game ball, boom.
My primetime player, the greatest receiver to ever to play the game. Showed it again today. Took the opening pass, 181 yards. The 49ers were never headed. 5 catches, $161, and a large touchdown. Jerry Rice on a 300-yard day for Elvis Gerback. It's my primetime player game ball. We'll be back. We'll be back with the Chiefs looking to run their mark to 9-1 against the Chargers, trying to hang in there on last year's memories. We'll go to the Murph in a moment.
It's their turf. It's their world. It's their game. And when we don't play by their rules, the results can be deadly. From the creator of the award-winning television series Wild America comes a home video unlike anything you've ever seen. These are nature's dangerous encounters, captured in one of the most astonishing wildlife films ever made, and available now for the first time as a special 1-hour home video. Call this toll-free number now to get Dangerous Encounters for just $19.95. It is not available in stores. Order now, and you'll also receive Watching Wildlife absolutely free. That's right. Both of these extraordinary programs are yours for just $19.95. Call now.
For rush delivery, get your credit card ready and call 1-800-618-6565. That's 1-800-618-6565. Or send your check or money order to the address on your screen. Call now.
Did you patch the roof?
Yes, dear.
Did you wash the cat?
Yes, honey pie.
Did you...
That's it. I'm not listening to nothing else until Tirico, Theismann, and Sharp do ESPN's NFL Prime Monday.
Mondays.
A spirit of teamwork. That's what makes the Home Depot proud to be a sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games in Atlanta and the 96 Paralympic Games. We're also proud to have Newell as a member of our Home Depot Olympic family. Since 1903, Newell has brought you drapery hardware, paint applicators, and shelving systems. Striving to be the best is the mark of Newell and of Home Depot, helping to bring the games to America.
Last year, a storybook season for the San Diego Chargers. This year, team picked 4th or by some 5th in the AFC West, like the Chargers were a year ago, the Kansas City Chiefs. But it's been a storybook season for them. Marcus Allen, 16 yards out of the 6-yard line. Then for the 8-1 Chiefs. So they go back to Allen, Play action to Allen. He's in the end zone. Steve, I got you, Babe Bono. 7-0 Chiefs.
Yeah, after the fake here, you see Will Shields with the spot shadow. He starts to turn the corner, but he turns around. He sees Chris Mims, makes the great block to get Bono into the end zone.
Who says number 13 is unlucky? Not this year. Bolt responds. Stan Humphries in the big passing game to Ronnie Harmon. Such an excellent receiver out of the backfield, 31 yards. Then to the air again on play action. Without Natron Means, they had to do it through the air. And Dwayne Young, the big tight end of the 7. But, oh, the Chargers just fumble in the red zone all year long. Mark Collins with the hit. But the officials say, no, you keep the ball. Marty Schottenheimer can't believe it. His team is so good with the turnovers. So without Natron, they gave it to Rodney Culver. And a 2-yard run on the break, and we're tied at 7. In the second half, the Chiefs lead at 13-7, and Bono, the swing lateral to Danon Hughes. Hughes to Lake Dawson. What a play, but caught but not ruled a touchdown. Let's have another look. The first pass ruled a forward pass, and you know what? At close look, I think it was. There wasn't a play, but it just was forward. So good call. Bono says, okay, fine. I'll go back to Lake Dawson to the 1. And 2 plays later, who better to find his way in the end zone from short yardage? Marcus Allen, 124th touchdown of his career, 19-7 Chiefs. Chargers offense struggling all day. Give you 2 reasons why. Derek Thomas, 58, and Neil Smith. No running game with Means. Big defense by the Chiefs. Another solid performance by Kansas City. Folks, the Kansas City Chiefs have the best record in football. They're tied with no one. They're 9-1. The Chiefs have swept the Chargers for the 4th time in 5 years. They win at the Bolts by the count of 22-7. So, just when you think you know the plot, the door is now wide open for the Super Bowl thanks to what we saw in Dallas.
Well, we were certainly worried about the disparity between the Cowboys and the other 29 teams in the league, and I think that the 49ers have now given us a reason to watch the rest of the season.
Well, the rest of the season shall be intriguing. A wild development at Dallas, some great games elsewhere. I hope you enjoyed Primetime. For Tom Jackson and Bill Pito, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching.
Video guide.
Video guide. It's about time. For a proven group long-term disability package, call your broker or the Fortis Castle. To better manage disability costs, call your broker or the Fortis Castle. Fortis, solid answers for a changing world.
Okay, now don't get Grandma too excited.
She has been running on the same Duracell battery since the Ice Age.
Wow, those Duracell batteries sure do last.
The Copper Top. No battery is stronger, longer.
WTA Championships at the Garden. Watch out, Dad. Steffi back to the shirt and skirt for the final because the dress must still be at the dry cleaners. Early on, she's dry cleaning Anke Huber. Wins the first set, 6-1. However, this was not your traditional Graf rout. Huber responds with a forehand winner of her own to capture the second set, 6-2. Third set now. Graf reasserts. Closes the set with an overhand. Smash, please. Third set to Graf, 6-1. Huber responds in the fourth set. Anke drives Graf to the net and passes her with the forehand. Fourth set to Huber, 6-4. So we go to the fifth. Steffi serving for the match. The return is out. Her fourth tour championship in 5. The first 5-set women's final since 1990 when Sullis beat Sabatini. The match goes 2 hours, 58 minutes. It's Huber's 10th straight loss to Graf, but she earned 250,000 fish for her trouble. We will not tell you how much Steffi won, just in case you work for the German tax authorities.
Sunday's Grey Cup was not just the final game of the Canadian Football League season. It could also turn out to be the final game ever for the Baltimore Stallions. With the Browns set to relocate in the city next season, the Stallions have started looking for a new home. They were in Regina, Saskatchewan to meet Calgary. No score first quarter. Chris Wright up the middle. 82 yards for the score, and quickly it's 7-0 Stallions. Stampeder Mark McLaughlin having a rough day. The locals like to call him the Stamps. O.J. Briggins blocks the punt. Alvin Walton, yep, the former Redskin, recovers for the touchdown. The Stallions led 20-13 at the break. Stallions eventually win it, 37-20. and bring home the Stanley Cup.
Is that what it was?
It did look like the Stanley Cup. In their 2-year existence, the Stallions have defeated every CFL team except for one, Calgary. Perfect timing.
Coming up, the greatest receiver in this country talks about who's the greatest quarterback in this country in the Sunday Conversation.
I have always said Joe was the best quarterback to ever play the game. I'm not going to back down from that. But, you know, now Steve, he's not far away from that.
He's got hold of a good one. Introducing the no annual fee ESPN MasterCard, the only card that makes you a sports VIP. Earn insider access with every purchase.
And this team headed for victory lane.
Earn VIP privileges at major sports events.
He's racking up points every time he
And exclusive savings on Dream Week vacations and events with sports celebrities. And points for exclusive ESPN collectibles. The ESPN MasterCard. Your VIP credentials all over the sports world. Call 1-800-995-ESPN to apply for your ESPN MasterCard. You want inside? Now you've got the key. Make purchases with this MasterCard and you'll rack up points that make you part of the action. So if you live for sports, get credit for it. Call 1-800-995-ESPN to apply. There's no annual fee, so call now. You'll get a free ESPN VIP t-shirt after your first ESPN MasterCard purchase. Call now.
Want inside? I mean, like, be there. In the paint, kissing it off the glass. In the slot, cranking a slap shot. Flat out on a straightaway. It's all about coverage. Like NHL hockey 3 nights a week. 175 NCAA basketball games. And the most complete NASCAR and IndyCar coverage on television. Want to feel it? To get the contact your cable or satellite provider.
Sunday Conversation is brought to you by Sprint. We've got everything you need. Local, long distance, and cellular to let you be there now.
Last Sunday in Dallas, Jerry Rice walked the walk while Deion Sanders talked the talk. Sanders made a tactical error in verbally challenging the greatest receiver to play the game. In our Sunday Conversation, Rice tells Andrea Kramer about his pregame chat with his former teammate and when he will know when it's time to call it quits. Jerry Rice with Andrea Kramer in the Sunday Conversation.
In pregame, you and Deion spent a little time together. Did he come to you to try to make peace, so to speak? What exactly happened there?